Hi, folks. You're with Tacitus today. Hi, folks. You're with Tacitus today, your pushback channel, and thank you for joining this radio live stream. In this essay, I'd like to talk about the. It's a push all across the Western world to push this gender equity, not gender equality, but gender equity. And I've noticed it's happening certainly in the English-speaking world, and I'm assuming the rest of the globalist controlled Western world as well. Maybe if people are in other countries listening to this, they could, non-English speaking countries, Holland, those sort of things, Germany, they could maybe leave a comment on this. But it's being pushed quite hard in Australia. It was there, but kind of a lukewarm thing. But since the Labor Party, or the equivalent of the Democrats in the US and Labor Party in Britain, since they got elected at the federal level, they've been really pushing this gender equity ideology nonsense and going at it quite hard. Again, that their position is, if outcomes are not exactly equal, then there must be misogyny and racism. Those are the only possible solution. No other solution is possible, or no other answer is possible. It's that. So the solution is to force equity, force equal outcomes under various threats, so that the ideological equity outcome is achieved not through any natural forces or anything like that, but through forced government intervention and using any and all manner of artificial means to achieve the ideological outcome. And just sort of what kicked this off is that in my business inbox today, there was an email from a government department, or a quango, I guess you'd call it, but a government department. And they have, you had to read it carefully to realise what they were driving at, but that they were offering courses in gender equity policy and training, and there was the people that are conducting the course. I mean, wouldn't you guess, gender studies lesbians? I mean, they're impartial. Gee whiz, no ideological fanatics there. Now, once you read the text, it effectively says that if representatives of your company do not attend these courses, that you will go to the bottom of the list when you are bidding for government business. So now that's an outrageous thing. They're forcing you to attend ideological training or brainwashing, otherwise you can't get access to government business. Now, but it actually gets worse than that, because they put that out there, but then they say you have to have, once you, if you don't go to the course, you can't bid for government business. Once you go to the course, you're in effect obligated to achieve the gender equity goals that these ideological fanatics, who, by the way, have never worked a day in their life, tell you that you have to. And this is all sort of government funded. Like, these people are paid, quite well paid actually, by the taxpayer to spread this this gender division, this hatred of men. Now, there's no secret here. If you dig around, you can find it online. There's no secret here. What they're saying is that you have to get rid of straight white men and replace them with women, and half these women have to be brown or black. The idea that these women should be qualified is pretty much immaterial. So they're quite okay with you must get rid of highly qualified straight white males, all in pursuit of the ideological outcome. So you have to get rid of the straight white males, even though they may be very good at their job. Now, the argument is you can replace them with women. Now, whether the women, and again, half of them black and brown women, if the women aren't qualified, that doesn't matter. You just pick the best qualified from amongst these unqualified women. And then you have to make it so effectively change all your workplace policies and practices to make sure these women stay at the job. Because if women start the job then leave, it's because you, straight white male, did something wrong. So you're ideologically guilty no matter what happens. So if the woman leaves, it's because you made her do it, you damn fascist Nazi. If the woman stays but doesn't get promoted quickly and doesn't get into senior roles quickly, because you have to have the balance, the gender balance there, and it's to make up for centuries of oppression. All that insane ideological nonsense they peddle. And if they don't get promoted quickly and moved up the ranks quickly, irrespective of how they perform, they could be the worst fucking performer in the whole universe ever. It doesn't matter. Gender equity is the goal here, and that's what matters. So, and if you have to hire a straight white male to clean up after them and be their subordinate, but effectively do the work, then that's how it should be, because that's gender equity. And the fact that you're doing that, again, only makes up for centuries of oppression of women. So it's still just. It's still social justice. Now, this is becoming more and more onerous. And what's intriguing is a lot of in fact, I can't think of any business publications, whether it be online or in print or anywhere, that are not totally on board with this. They're not actively pushing it. In fact, one of the biggest business journals in Australia has now become a complete propaganda rag for all this gender equity nonsense. I mean, they're really pushing it hard. Yeah, hiring lots of lesbians as journalists and lesbian activists as journalists and so on. Now, the business I'm associated with doesn't really rely a lot on government gigs, so it kind of doesn't really affect us. But I'm annoyed that these strong arm tactics are being used against private businesses that are being forced to adopt hire unqualified women and unqualified black and brown women to boot, under threat of not being allowed to conduct business in the private sector. So it's no longer a private sector, a capitalist economy where you're free to sell your goods and services to all parties. It's not that anymore. We don't give a fuck about your goods and services. We want to know how many black lesbians you've got in senior management. And that's really all it seems to come down to. Now, how that can be helpful, economically helpful or commercially helpful, or skills development helpful to the economy and the workplace generally is quite beyond me. It's not. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's destructive and very destructive. But that's what's going on. And again, it's widespread. I look at, just looking now out of the top 8 stories on the headline or the front page of this, probably one of the most prominent business websites, or purporting to be a business website at least. And 1, 2, 3, just direct propaganda pushing of the gender equity. More men than women are in STEM. That must be because of racism and misogyny. There can't be any other reason or cause. It must be that, and something must be done, and something must be done seriously. We have to put these fucking men in their place. These damn fascist Nazis who won't allow this beautiful fantasy world, this nirvana of equality and equity to be there. They're stopping it. They're preventing it, which means they are all Nazis. And we're allowed to do whatever we have to do to stop Nazis. I mean, you're not supporting Nazis, are you? Are you in favor of Nazis? Is that what you're saying? So that we have to do whatever it takes to stop these Nazis. Because by stopping Nazis, we create a socialist nirvana. One automatically follows the other. at least in our wild and fantastic imagination, it does, say the globalist lefties. But look, on the globalist side, it's just another way of sowing doubt, confusion, uncertainty, and destruction in Western societies, which the globalists want. But from the leftist point of view, it's again, it's this imaginary paradise that's only around the corner. If only we could get rid of just a few more of these damn straight white male fascist Nazi Hitlers. That's all it's going to take. Just a few more. We get rid of just a few more, and paradise will arrive. These insane fucking people, gee whiz. I hope there's other elections around the Western world like the Italian one, and we get rid of some of these insane people who are running all the Western economies into the ground. You're being with Tacitus today at your Pushback channel, and thank you for listening.